Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. I'm RexFinance, and today we need to talk about Workhorse stock. Again, it's getting ready to fly because they sell drones and drones fly, and I think the stock price is gonna also fly. Not funny? Okay, I'll try again with another joke later in the video. But honestly, I've covered Workhorse stock extensively over the past month or month and a half, and that should be a reflection of my increased confidence in this investment. Now, I need to make it clear that I still have no issue selling completely out of my position when the company releases their next earnings report if they fail to execute. I've said that from day one. This is a very high-risk investment. I'm ready to lose every dollar I put into this thing. I'm ready to sell my entire position, and I'm also ready to double down on my position at the same time if the management team does execute, which it appears the management team is doing very well currently, which is what I'm going to talk about in this video. I've covered the company extensively over the past month and a half, but there have been some really interesting developments that we need to get into today. Workhorse even made my 3 stocks to buy video for the month of July. If you haven't seen that, I'll make it easy. Click that eye in the top right-hand corner. Watch that after you watch this video. Thank you. Also, the channel's been growing like crazy lately, so join the fun. It's cool to be a RexFinance subscriber, so hit the subscribe button down below. My membership is also growing like crazy. I'll get into my updated valuation spreadsheet, which is available to my paid members. Hit the join button down below or hit the Patreon link in my pinned comment down below to join that membership. You won't regret it, and if you do, I'll give you a 100% refund, so it's a no-risk... Apparently, I can't talk. It's a no-risk investment to join my membership. Anyways, let's get into this. If you guys are unfamiliar with this company, Workhorse, they manufacture electric commercial vehicles as well as electric drones that they sell to both the military and the government as well as private companies out there. And I'll leave a couple links in the description down below to previous videos I've done on the company where you can gain a better understanding of the basis of what the company does and who they are. This is undoubtedly my highest risk investment in my portfolio. Currently, I own about 10,000 shares and the share price is 93 cents. So I have, what, $9,300 in the stock. I'm ready to put like $20,000 into it if the management team continues to execute, and it shows in the numbers in their next earnings report. It's really been kind of a roller coaster ride with Workhorse stock over the last month or two where we shoot way above $1 per share and then we just tank over the course of 3 days to, what is that, 80 cents per share, and then we flatline and we go back up to $1 per share, and now we're down to 93 cents per share. It's just going up and down. Now you'll know if you've watched all my videos on Workhorse stock that my main concern with this company is them staving off bankruptcy. There's a reason this stock is only 93 cents. Wall Street, at least part of Wall Street, believes that Workhorse is going to go bankrupt. I personally don't believe that's going to happen, and I'll explain to you why that is in today's video. In fact, sneak peek, my valuation spreadsheet says that Workhorse is 2,500% undervalued if they execute, so stay tuned for that. But I have to be honest with you, every single day that goes by, I feel like Workhorse is getting further and further away from bankruptcy. We covered in previous videos that the company has $90 million in cash at the end of last quarter and 0 debt. They have 0 debt, so it's simply a matter of producing vehicles and selling vehicles profitably. And currently, Workhorse has already accounted for all of the variable costs, all of the hands-on costs that it takes to build an electric vehicle. They just need to cover the fixed expenses of the overall company in order to become profitable. But the reason I am so ecstatic and I have such a positive outlook is because over the course of this second quarter of the year, so April through the end of June, we've been able to see Workhorse really start to execute and pump out vehicles, produce vehicles, and sell vehicles. I got to give a shout out to Flying Banana on YouTube. He has a pretty sweet drone where he goes over Workhorse's facilities and plants, and you can see all of these vehicles sitting here. All of these vehicles are vehicles that Workhorse has worked on and produced and is ready for delivery. And here's kind of a wide-angled shot of this. All of these vehicles down here, and then all of these vehicles up here in the corner. I know some investors are going to be concerned when they see all of these vehicles sitting on the lot, but I just have to say, if the management team is having their company produce all of these vehicles, they're not subsequently selling those same vehicles they're producing, they deserve to be fired. And if that's the case and we aren't having deliveries and we're not selling these vehicles, again, I'm going to sell out of my investment. But I believe, based on what the management team has done in the past and over the course of their journey at Workhorse, that this is legit production and these are legit sales. Basically, I believe they are selling every single vehicle as it comes off the production line. In addition to all of those W4CC vehicles that are sitting on Workhorse's lot currently, we got a recent press release on June 27th where they said that they began production of the W750 and they announced a new partnership and a certified dealership in Georgia. Last earnings call, the management team said they would be starting production of the W750 at the end of Q2, and they have achieved that timeline. With these sorts of high-risk investments, especially manufacturing companies like this, it's very, very important to pay attention to timelines and projections and guidance that the management teams put out. If they stick to that timeline, chances are you're going to make a lot of money on your investment. But if they don't stick to that timeline, it's probably time to rethink your position. Also, every certified dealership that they partner with represents real sales for the company because these dealerships take stocking orders where they'll purchase 10, 15 vehicles from the company to stock their inventory to be able to start to sell to customers. All of this is a huge deal because it keeps the lights on at the company without the company having to dilute shareholders or go bankrupt. We covered the company has $90 million in cash and $0 of debt. That cash runway gets extended dramatically if you are selling vehicles and having revenues come in to your company rather than just spending money and having nothing come back into your company. This is a huge, huge deal. Another press release that we got that really, really excites me came on June 20th when they announced that they had received their first commercial drone purchase orders, one from Valkyrie and the other was an unnamed customer. Valkyrie is a Chicago-based smart mailbox company with international exposure that works with companies, governments, and other organizations to shape the future of drone delivery. Whether that be having your mail delivered via a drone because it's much more efficient, or having your Amazon package delivered by a drone because it's much more efficient, drone delivery is in our future. It's just a matter of when. And when Workhorse forms new partnerships or brings on new customers this early in the industry cycle, that's huge. It allows Workhorse to have that first step forward and gain that first mover advantage in the industry. There are very few other companies out there that are doing drone delivery or focusing on manufacturing drones that have the capabilities for drone delivery. And when you add in all of the commercial drone patents that Workhorse has, it makes it even more advantageous for Workhorse as a company as this industry evolves. Now, yes, you may be concerned or think this is just a fluff press release because they only sold 2 commercial drones, but we have to realize this is how it works out there in the real world, especially with a new technology, with new capabilities, with new companies in a new industry. Companies put out very small purchase orders to test the product before they put in a large purchase order. It helps their company mitigate the risk. And Valkyrie actually posted a video on LinkedIn showing this Workhorse drone performing beyond their expectations in their own words. You know what that means? If Valkyrie succeeds as a company and becomes a huge drone delivery company, a smart mailbox company, this is going to be the first of many drone purchase orders from Valkyrie. Personally, the drone business excites me the most because it's going to add the most to the bottom line percentage-wise. The profit margins in drone technologies and drone capabilities and in the drone industry as a whole are going to be much bigger than that of electric commercial vehicles. And I'm even more excited because last conference call, the management team talked about how they were nearing completion of their first purchase order from the U.S. Air Force for one of their drones. The company has the government and the military as a customer, yet we have not seen that press release come out. And if the company exceeds the military and the government's expectations, the opportunities are endless. And finally, this might go overlooked by most people, but I don't overlook this sort of thing. You know, back when Workhorse officially lost the USPS bid, the bid for the USPS contract, you saw institutions sell very, very quickly out of the company. However, we've seen that bottoming process in mid-2022 with institutional ownership, and ever since then, institutional ownership has been on a dramatic rise. Institutions are generally privy to more information than the regular retail investor, which is why this is something I usually pay attention to. It's not foolproof, don't get me wrong. We can't just look at this increase in institutional ownership and assume that, oh, the company's not going to go bankrupt, or, oh, I'm going to make a bunch of money on my investment because institutions are buying up the stock. That's not the case. It's just simply something that you can use to either back your bull or bear thesis depending on what institutional ownership is doing. All right, now finally what all of you guys have probably been waiting for. Here's my valuation spreadsheet, which is available to my paid members once again. I have a very cheap membership compared to every other YouTuber that I know of, and we have the best time. Don't miss out. Join the membership. Quit putting it off. But just recently, and I'll put this up on the screen, I made some changes to my valuation spreadsheet, which involved increasing the sales price for the W4CC as well as the W750, but I actually decreased the sales price for the W56. I didn't touch any of the units sold. As we get more information, and especially after the next quarterly report, I will adjust those numbers, which could again change my personal valuation on the company. For each successive year, I also added a 5% price bump to each vehicle, which is why this sales price number changes every single year. And then I actually bumped the profit margin on the vehicle's revenue to 10% from 8% for this year in 2023, and then to 12.5%, which is up from 11.5% for 2024. And then I left 2025 the same at 15%. Again, this is going to be a lower margin business. It's going to drive the top line like crazy, but I think over the long term, this drone business is what's going to add a lot of profits to the bottom line and increase the overall profit margin of the company. I still think profitability is going to come in 2025, and until then, the company's going to have to survive on the cash they have, either adding more cash via dilution, taking out debt if debt becomes more attractive, or just selling vehicles and really spacing out their cash runway. But as a result of my sales price changes on the vehicles, my total revenue for the year of 2023 actually increased to $97 million. I think this year the company will do $97 million in revenue. If they execute, that is up from $88 million. And then in 2024, it went up to $410 million, which is up from $396 million. So not a huge change there. And then in 2025, I actually have the company doing $918 million in revenue, almost $1 billion in revenue in the next 2 years. That's crazy growth. I think the management team can do it if they continue to execute, as I've said. And that is up from $908 million. So not a huge change there either. But my price targets did change a little bit. For this year in 2023, I think the fair value for the company, if the company executes, is $2.60. For 2024's numbers, I think the fair value is $10.70. And for 2025, I think the fair value is $22.81. And this is all assuming around 20% reoccurring share dilution. When the company does become profitable, whether that be at the end of 2024 or early 2025, whenever it is, I will add in the PE valuation and do some discounted cash flow valuations as well. But for now, as an unprofitable company, the best way to do this is to do a price sales valuation. And that's where I came up with these price targets. So if the company executes and the company does do almost, $920 million in revenue in 2025, I think the company is 2,351% undervalued. And I think that's the return that I could see on my money that I have in this company. But again, I could end up being wrong about this management team. Maybe they don't execute. And I've said it. I am ready to lose every single dollar I put into this company. This is a very high risk investment. This is not a recommendation. I'm simply explaining my own thoughts and opinions. You can come up with your own. This is not saying you should invest in this company, because please, everybody has their own risk tolerance. Everybody has a different financial situation. So this investment is not best for everybody, which is why I cannot give you financial advice. But if you don't like my numbers, or you want to change my multiples, or you want to change how many vehicles are sold or the sales price of the vehicles, you can download my spreadsheet again by becoming a member and change my numbers. My numbers could be wrong. Who knows? But all in all, personally, I believe this is a huge opportunity as an investor, and I'm willing to take the risk here on Workhorse Stock. I'll keep you updated on this company. I'm going to try and get the CEO on for an interview very soon. I'll keep you guys updated with that as well. Have a great rest of your day. Stay blessed. 10 toes to the ground. Keep your chin up. Have a great rest of your day. I think I already said that. I don't know, but peace out.